Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Laughing Out Loud. I'm Cheryl, and this is episode 2 of my life and adventures. So, as I was saying, once the monies that my ex-husband was receiving, he was supposed to have been giving it to me, and he stopped it. Because, like I said, I was living out in town, so he was living at, they made him move back to the base, and he's living on the base for free, he's eating for free, so I still needed to be able to survive, and being pregnant out there. But like I said, I moved to another place. My brother ended up coming to stay with me, because he was put out of his place. So, in the midst of that, I actually worked on the base at the time, and my ex-husband worked in the garden shop between the time that he from his regular job, and I had to go down there and get the money from him that he had skipped for 2 months, so he had to give that back to me. They made him give that back to me. So when I went down there to give it back to get it from him, he was mad about that. They're sick and tired of you calling them. No, they're not sick and tired. Your gunny gave me his number at home and his wife's name and said to call him anytime I needed to. So that's exactly what I did. They didn't tell me they were tired of me. So he was mad about that. And mind you, he's standing there with sucker marks, like sucker marks on his neck from a relationship. Now he's seeing someone once again. Now, mind you, by this time I'm around 5.5, 6 months pregnant. So I was working in the dry cleaners at the end in the commissary, and that's where he was working, in the commissary, but down at the garden center, and he got that job later. I was already working on the base. So once I went down to get that money from him, and he told me they were sick of me, what have you, and I said, well, that's not what they told me. And when I turned around and walked away, he threw a pen, like a writing pen. He threw a pen at me, and I said, "Miss me." Tell me why he started chasing me. Chased me down through the commissary area. I ran all the way back down to the dry cleaners, came in, and I was just all baby. I was skinny, and jumped over the little open area where you hang the clothes when you get finished. When you give the people their clothes back, I jumped through there, and he ran in through the doors and just extremely mad. But anyway, going back to the place where I ended up moving to, and my brother was staying there. Well, he had a drug problem, and I believe it was a problem before, but he didn't act, how can I say, he wasn't, he didn't look like a drug addict. He was a functioning addict, should I say. He worked every day, but when he got paid, he was gone the entire weekend, and he wasn't giving me any money. He was also getting SSI check for some rash or something that he had on him, and I was supposed to be his guardian, and I had another brother but anyway, so my brother had a drug problem, and I was having to sleep. Now, mind you, I'm about 5.5, 6 months pregnant. I'm sleeping in the bed with my purse and a knife, because he would come and wake me up in the middle of the night on the weekends asking for money, and I'd have to tell him, no, go away, I don't have any, no, go away. So yeah, he would work through the weekday, and on the weekends he would get missing. He actually drove a little company pickup truck. So, and there was a couple of occasions that he told me that he gave the truck up as collateral to some folks, you know. And there was a couple times that I actually gave him money. But other than that, it was, you know, I had to get up in the middle of the night. There was times that I just felt like he might have been in my car, and he was. My car was parked underneath the building, in the apartment building where I was staying. So he had gotten a key made of my car, and something would tell me to not get up at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I go down there underneath the building, and it was a garage. It would open up underneath the building. But anyway, I go down there, and he's sitting in the car doing his drugs with his friend, and I'd have to make him get out. There were spoons that would be bent up underneath the carport. I was pretty mad about that. But anyway, there was one particular time that, because I was asking, I would go and get my money orders to go pay the rent. And now I'm putting the bill in its entirety for the rent. So it's time to pay the rent. And he asked me one time, and it didn't click, you want me to go get the money order to pay the rent, to go drop it off at the rental office? I said, yeah. I gave him the cash. I didn't see him for 3 days. I didn't see my brother for 3 days. And he hadn't paid the rent. So I tried to explain this to the they were newer managers. They looked suspect also. I wouldn't put it past them to have known exactly what was going on. But so my brother, he eventually showed up, and I guess gave them their money back, gave them the money or paid it. So that was a problem. That went on for quite some time. But I eventually, as closer I got to having my baby, I decided I didn't want to live there. It was too expensive. It was too much going on. There was too much stress between my brother, between the husband. So I needed to get out of there. So I went to my husband's gunny and lieutenant colonel and everybody to tell them he need to get me a plane ticket so I can go home, because I'm not having a baby out here. So they did that. I put my things in storage. I didn't tell my brother anything about it. He was on his hiatus as usual. I had a moving company come and pack up my things and move it to a storage. The only thing I left in there was a recliner, which is where the recliner that my brother slept in. I left it in there. I told the apartment people, I'm gone. Here's my keys. My brother's still over there. He's not there right now, but you all do with him what you will. So I came back, was home maybe 2 weeks, and that's when I had my son. And so yeah, things were much smoother. I felt more comfortable being back at home. Out of the whole situation, it was extremely stressful. And then later on, a few years later, I ended up filing for divorce. I did it myself, did it online. By this time, my son had been back and forth to California. He was being able to spend some summers and things with his dad there in California. His dad never came back. His dad still lives in California. Remarried with another son as well. I don't have any animosity against him whatsoever. He's living his life. I'm living mine. Got the divorce because I initiated it, and that's it. I'll tell you more here in a minute.